Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into a heartwarming tale about a very determined little fox. Imagine a world where the rain just wouldn't stop. Not for a day, not for a week, but for what felt like forever. Our story begins in a lush green forest, usually bursting with sunshine and happy critters. But lately, it was just wet. And our main character, a clever russet-furred fox named Foxy, was getting quite fed up with it all. Foxy loved bounding through sun-drenched meadows, chasing butterflies and basking in warm patches of light. But with the endless rain, everything was muddy. His fur was constantly damp, and his favorite sunny spots were just puddles. He'd tried everything, sheltering under big leaves, digging deeper burrows, even complaining loudly to the sky. Nothing worked. So Foxy, being a fox of action, decided he would simply stop the rain himself. He didn't know how, but his heart was set on it. His first brilliant idea, climbing the tallest tree and yelling at the clouds to go away. He scrambled up the ancient oak, its branches slick with water, and let out a series of yips and barks, shaking his paw at the grey sky. The clouds, of course, paid no attention, and a particularly large raindrop landed right on his nose. Foxy sighed, his tail drooping. That didn't work. Next, he thought maybe he needed a bigger plan. He approached Barnaby Bear, who was usually full of wisdom. "Barnaby," Foxy began, "how do I stop this rain?" Barnaby, munching on some soggy berries, just rumbled. "Foxy, the rain is nature's way. It helps the berries grow and keeps the rivers flowing." Foxy listened patiently, but wasn't convinced. He wanted sunshine, not soggy berries. He then went to Oscar Owl, known for his keen observation. Oscar, perched high and dry under a thick canopy, hooted softly, "Foxy, the rain brings life. Look at the leaves, how green they are. Feel the fresh air after a downpour." Foxy looked around. The forest was indeed vibrant. The moss glowed, and tiny new shoots were pushing through the damp earth. But still, the thought of sunshine called to him. Feeling a bit deflated but not defeated, Foxy continued his quest. He tried splashing at puddles, hoping to scare the rain away. He tried building a tiny dam across a stream, thinking if he stopped the water flowing on the ground, the rain would get the hint. Of course, none of these elaborate schemes worked. The rain continued to fall, a steady, gentle rhythm. One afternoon, feeling utterly exhausted from his rain-stopping efforts, Foxy curled up under a fern, feeling a little sorry for himself. He watched a tiny earthworm wriggle happily out of the wet soil. A family of ducks paddled gleefully in a newly formed pond, quacking with delight. And then he saw a tiny wildflower, previously just a bud, unfurling its delicate petals, sparkling with raindrops. It was in that moment, seeing the joy of the ducks and the beauty of the blooming flower, that something shifted in Foxy. He wasn't stopping the rain, he was missing out on the beauty it brought. The forest, usually so familiar, suddenly seemed different. vibrant, and alive in a way he hadn't noticed before. The air smelled fresh, the colors were richer, and every drop on every leaf shimmered like a tiny diamond. Foxy slowly uncurled. He walked towards the wildflower, gently nudging a drop of water off its petal with his nose. He saw a tiny beetle cleaning itself on a wet leaf, perfectly content. He realized that the rain wasn't a problem to be solved. It was just a part of the world, bringing its own kind of wonder. He couldn't control the weather, but he could control how he saw it. From that day on, Foxy still loved the sunshine, but he also learned to appreciate the rain. He discovered that muddy puddles were surprisingly fun to splash in. He found new, glistening berries that only grew after a good rain. He even learned to love the cozy feeling of his dry burrow when the rain pattered gently outside. He realized that sometimes the greatest adventures aren't about changing the world around you, but about changing your perspective. And eventually, just as Barnaby and Oscar knew, the sun did come out, brighter and more glorious than ever, making the whole forest sparkle. What a wonderful lesson Foxy learned, right? It reminds us that even when things aren't exactly how we want them, there's always a hidden beauty and an opportunity to appreciate the world from a new angle. Thank you so much for joining me for this tale. If you enjoyed Foxy's journey, please give this video a big thumbs up. And do not forget to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you do not miss our next story. See you soon.